Before we get into the video, check out this massive alligator snapping turtle I found. Pretty sick. So I'm in my apartment now, and this is the space I'm planning on working on. Obviously all my shit's here because I'm moving, but yeah, that's before. So we are going to be building some restaurant style booths. But first of all, I got to set up. I didn't really have a plan going into this, so I kind of just winged it with the wood that we had. And to be honest, about 90% of the time doing this project was just me figuring out what to do and deciding if it would work. I started by cutting my OSB boards in the table saw. Of course, my neighbor came to have a conversation, but these were planned to be the butt where you'd sit. Brought out the miter saw, and I cut my piece of glued pine in half, which was supposed to be the sides. So I needed to make 4 of those, and then on the inside, I would bolt together the scrap wood so that the OSB could lay on top of it for some extra support. Sorry about the shot here, but it looks a little cool through the grass, but still just screwing together my sides. Always making sure to have a push stick on the table saw because I like having all 10 fingers, and I like having my eyeballs, so I'm always wearing safety glasses. And sorry about the choppiness, but here's how it looked. Just screwed in the side right there. And here is my plan so you can see it. This is our base bench here, and now you'll be able to see what I'm doing a lot better. Most of this project was just made from scrap wood from other projects, so I'm glad we got to use it for something. Right now I'm cutting these 1x4s for the siding of the booth, drilling down my OSB. And right now I am deciding if this could support a human or not, and what would be long enough. So I added this front board, screwed it to the sides, and then I turned it on the inside and then added another support beam for the seat. And then same thing for the next one, just no support beam. Next thing I was trying to decide was, should I make it go inside further or outside? You'll see what I mean in a second. But my mother's out here helping me. Still deciding on the indent. I decided for 2 screwed to the outside and then 2 screwed on the inside and then a little gap on the bottom, which turned out to be the best thing I could have possibly added. You'll see why later. My mom interrupted my session to look at this beautiful Oriole. But back to it. Sitting on it, it can support humans right now, but it doesn't feel great. Adding in more to the front. And then I wanted the support in the middle so that you could sit anywhere and it wouldn't flex. Sorry about this, but you're not missing anything. We just screwed it in, and that is supported. It just touches the ground. Back to it. Now we start on the back. I'm just going to use a piece of plywood for the back because we ran out of the glued pine, so this was the best I had, but it won't end up looking bad. So I cut my angle of about 10 degrees into the back, and how I was going to do it, I drilled these 2x4s into the back, and it's just supported on the back there. This thing is going to be against a wall, so I'm not too worried about the back. But we did put one more support in there, just so it wouldn't slide around. It is drilled in from the bottom, and here is our final for the first one, looking great. And next one, much easier. Took about 1/10 of the time because I knew what I was doing. Same exact thing. Little indent here, almost already done. My parents were rushing me a bit, so they wanted to help because we had to go eat with the grandparents. But big thanks to them. Putting in our support. Now already onto the back. Just gotta screw these in. And then this was a hard part. Couldn't have done it without my dad, but drilling directly into a thin piece of plywood took about 8 tries per screw. But we got it done and it works great. See us sitting on there? Here's how it looks in the apartment. And as you can see, I used sides on the back right there to cover it up. I originally planned to cut a triangle to make it even, but I think this looks great and it was a lot easier to do because these were not even. I didn't measure much, so. And then me and my girlfriend made these booths out of a cut up mattress topper and some fabric so we could make it perfect. And it was such a hassle to find a one-legged table, but we found one online finally. So this is why it was so big that I had this gap here, because I measured this and ordered the table online, so I had no idea how it would be. But from my measurements, it would fit, and I put it up to here, and it wouldn't fit between these. So I had to wiggle it in, and as you can see, it's circular, so it's just peeking under there. And this big expensive table would not fit in our space because these are backed up to each wall. So very lucky there. And here's the final product. Looks great. Filled this space very well. And if you look up booths like this online, they can go for anywhere between 500 to 1500 depending on how nice they are. So we saved a ton of money with a DIY project. So very happy about that. This thing only ended up costing under $100 for all the wood, surprisingly. But yeah, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed.